let's see. I'm going to test some stuff. So first, let's play the music on maximum volume and let's talk, and then I will mute the desktop audio and check the sound volumes, because from the replays, the previous streams where the microphone was not loud enough. Let's see how this goes. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I mute the desktop audio and check the stream. Okay, it seems to be working great. So what I have is on filters on the microphone, the audio limiter at 0 decibels, and on the desktop audio I have it on minus 30 decibels. I had the audio limiter on the microphone on previous streams on minus 10 decibels, and that was kinda stupid. Okay, let's get the music going again. Okay, there we go. And I should probably send out the notification in the Discord. Okay, so just copy that and switch the... I'm going live in 1 hour to now. I'm going live in now. Oops, I'm going live now. You want more modules? Yeah. Hello, cringy. Is that how you pronounce it? Cringy. Okay. Let us proceed. I haven't done anything in between the streams, but where did we stop previous time? Right. The modules. A bunch of stuff. The 90-degree adapter, we only have the upper half of it done. So we should do that. Okay, then what else? This interior stuff, then what we need? Reactors as the main component. And in terms of armor paneling, what I'm thinking is that I wouldn't shape the armor itself and instead just have it plain armor panels, but then add some stuff out of lighter materials like stairs on top of the armor in terms to add some details. And for this example, I think if we have 32 railguns, in order to power that plus some spare stuff, we would need 8 larger... Oh my god, why is the stream lagging so much? Or is it just the OBS preview? What is happening? Okay, well, tell me if anything seems strange with the stream. What I can do is probably just close a bunch of stuff. Spotify don't need it, Telegram don't need it. That's it really. Nothing else to close. let me just quickly check the task manager performance. The video and code is only sitting at 10%, so strange. Oh well, let's proceed. Is there anything else I thought of in between the sessions? Not really. Maybe a bit, but I don't remember right now. Let's get the reactor module going. Then integrate it into the prototype blueprint and proceed from there. So we could just copy most of the structure from the hydrogen tank. It should be very similar. Okay, the only thing I could change is add this block here. Yep. The reactor connection points are only 6 ones, right at the sides of it. Where was the reactor again? In my hotbar, there. Second tab. Mount points, yep, only 6. And I think we have them, at least the ones that are connecting here, utilized. Yep. Okay, so that should be the reactor. Let's see. Let's cut some stuff up in here. So what I'm thinking is that we could have the reactor here, then downward thruster here, pair of tanks here, downward thrusters here, thrusters to the side here, pair of tanks here, thrusters to the side here, reactor here, and same at the front. So the reactors wouldn't be touching the hydrogen tanks directly, so they wouldn't get very easily blown up and damaged. Right, let's get to cutting stuff. There. I think that should be as a part of the tanks. Where did I place the reactor? Here. This process really reminds me of how real ships are assembled. They just made in segments similar to this and then welded together. Okay, it's having a problem attaching. Let's move this away for a second. And attach this. Like that. A bit of a fall here, but, well, nothing I can do really. Okay, so this whole part will need to be cut out and replace with upward and downward thrusters. Like that. Do we have the upward thrust somewhere? I think this is it. And the downward thrust, there it is. Oh, got it in a very inconvenient location. Let's cut it here. Like that. Alright, I think we can just disconnect this whole front part from the railguns, and we can cut it at the middle point, which would be 1, 2, 3. Okay, here. Cut off this section entirely. And remove this part. Now we can attach this part onto this part. A very engaging commentary. Like this, I think. Yep. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, in this part, the sideways thrusters will go. Where did I leave them? Now we have an entire section here. Can just cut up the half of it and take another one. Like that. Then we attach this back on. Then the reactors, there they are. Let's take them and attach them here. Then we can mirror this whole section and attach it to itself. Are the railguns in the way? They may be. Like that. The purpose of it, of the system, is everything. You want a combat ship, you can make a combat ship. You want a carrier, you can make a carrier. Cargo vessel, processing ship. But for this specific example, I'm making a combat ship. So as you can see, a lot of thrust and a lot of guns. And then will be a lot of armor. Okay, and then we can attach the adapter with the forward-backward segment onto it again. Okay, now we need to make the lower half of the adapter. Now let's actually fire a shot of the railguns. Fires the gun. Fire. Where rail... Oh right, I have them off on the segment because I think I needed to them to not recharge when I was working on this segment. Yes. Okay, I need to enable them back on. So with the empty space that we have, the jump drives and the gyroscopes can go in these parts between the thrusters. Then at the back here we will have car container, refinery assembler, some interior, and one of the cockpits. And then in the middle we'll have another cockpit and some more interior probably. And a landing pad up here, most likely. Alright, how's the charging coming along? Just finished. Let's fire it. Of course, you wouldn't fire all the guns at once in the combat, you would fire them one by one in rapid succession in most cases. That is a lot of guns. Yep, and it takes pretty much half the power to recharge them. Always good to have twice as many reactors as needed, because you will be losing them in combat. Most likely. Okay, the lower half of the adapter. Let's see, it shouldn't be too hard to just mirror what is here. Actually, we could activate the mirror mode like this to make it faster. An interesting thing I already told multiple times, but I'm going to tell you again, because I don't really know what else to say. Because of how geometry works, the surface area gets increased quadratically, but the volume gets increased cubically. So the bigger you go, the more volume you have per surface area. So, because the volume and the mass rises cubically and the surface only quadratically, you will have a lot of empty volume on bigger ships. And that empty volume can be filled with interior or hangars. So, having hangars on really huge ships is not that much of a problem, because there's not really that much purpose to all that volume anyway, so might as well add a hangar. Alright, how we should go about this? So there would be armor here, 5 of it. Yep. Walkways here. Alright, going to do this without the mirror mode, just to make sure they are placed in the orientation I want them to. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just very specific about things like that for some reason. If a block has difference between its sides, then I want them placed in an orderly fashion and not willy-nilly. Uh, Welders are not a good part of the design. First of all, a lot of servers have limits on them, then they produce lag, they cost a lot of PCU. It's much better to spend that PCU on armor in front of the ship, which most combat ships that are well made have. First of all, very low frontal profile, which is only the guns and, well, thrusters. Or most people even just have the thrusters thrusting into the ship. I don't do that because it annoys me. And then you have a lot of armor in front of the guns, because you can armor the railguns. They can shoot through these small holes quite easily. So you just have like 8 or even more layers in front of the guns in terms of armor. And you end up with a ship that's hard to hit, and even when you hit it, it can take quite a lot of damage without any functions of it starting to shut down. But this is not even close to the meta ships, because meta ships use gravity drives, which produce insane acceleration, even for very heavy ships. I don't use them, I use hydrogen. Okay, where was I going with this? Okay, there needs to be a walkway on to here. And we should probably have... Let's see. Stairs, ladder here. Okay, wait. Alright, I don't even have the ladder connection between two layers here, because other modules have plenty of them. So all I need here is just these two ladder shafts in order to access. To access what? This block. Like that. Yeah, I guess this works. Alright, I should have probably enabled the symmetry for this. Oh well. Okay, this setup should allow me to weld manually pretty much any part of it. Yes. So what I like to do with this is for everything to be accessible without jetpack by just walking or climbing ladders. It's not necessary to have that, but it's very nice. And doesn't cost that much PCU to add some blocks here and there. Okay, I think that should be that done, right? Let's check the connections. Okay, you have this block here like that. How are the passages on the other modules done? Let's see. They are actually quite tall. So what I should do with this instead then? Where was the one I was working on? Here. What I should do here is something like this. For it to be consistent. Okay, there's no passage here. Change this to this. To this maybe. There is no real commentary going on at all right now. Okay, right. Let's remove this. Where was. Let's take the reactor module, for example. Okay, yes. That is how I have it. In fact, this part could go like this too. What do I have on the lower thrusters? Okay. Okay. Takes a bit of time to make sure everything is consistent in terms of style. This is the surface of the armor, so can't really do anything here. Okay, if we can remove some bits of it. Right, let's cut off this part entirely of the blueprint, because it's outdated now. Like that. And cut off this part. And this part. Okay. Now let's assemble an adapter out of the new parts. And then take it all and flip it. Right, that should be the new adapter. And now we take this whole assembly and attach it to this. Make sure it's correctly attached, which I think this position is. Yes. Okay. That seems to have been attached correctly. Now we need to knock through a few passageways. Yeah. That aren't normally included on the blocks. Okay, there should be a passage here. Oh, actually, it's leading to the thrusters anyway. Ah, well, let's still have it. And go a little bit down. Knock a passage here. Yes. On the other side. And down here. Right. Break this block. Passage to side. like this. Perfect. This is going to be quite fun to run around while you don't have anything else to do. Actually, let's see how this thing is going to work if I just cover it with heavy armor blocks. It's going to look very flat, as expected. But it's... right, I don't have the thrusters attached to it. After the reconnection. But what could be done with this blank slate is some fancy stuff. Let's take these stair blocks, for example. It being here shouldn't overlap with the thruster exhaust. Even here should be fine, if I'm not mistaken. I think something could just be added to the sides of it. And then maybe have some cover walls connecting these parts to make them look more interesting. I don't know. Just cover a few examples of what could be possible. We'll figure this part later. I am sure something could be done. Let's see, 7000 PCU. So far, we haven't added gyroscopes or jump drives yet, and a bunch of smaller stuff. How many hours I have in the game? Only 2500. Not that many comparatively. It's a lot, but it's not that many compared to what some other people have. Okay, I can remove this too. The shape is still a bit, what would you call it, penile? But I'm sure it will go away as we progress more into it. This space between here is perfect for a refinery and an assembler, actually. 2 blocks wide. Let's fire another shot and then experiment with adding gyroscopes and jump drives. "16 jump drives for this would be perfect. I have already added them before, so it shouldn't be too hard to do it again. There's exactly... so you got 10% of the hours I have. It's fine. It's not the amount of hours you have, it's what you do in that amount. I could have achieved a lot more or a lot less in the amount of hours I have spent as well. It does look pretty big, though I bet it looks a lot bigger because of all the walkways going through it. But it's not super big. Like, the end result would only be around probably 20,000 PSU, if hopefully, even less hopefully. Something that is totally possible to build alone on unofficial servers. A monster ship would be if I make it 4 times bigger. Actually, let's see how many physical shapes or whatever it is on this ship so far. Because that's limiting factor. Physical shapes 5,000. Only 5,000 out of 65,000. Okay, so it's not that bad. Can go a lot bigger. I guess, I don't know, you haven't asked, but I will still give the tips. The most basic tips for building is start with the functional stuff of the ship and then add the fancy stuff on top. And what else? Use as few conveyors as possible. That saves a lot of PSU. Eight large reactors, which results in 2400 megawatts of power production, and 32 railguns, which drain... what is it? Let's see how much they drain. Let's just fire them off. And then see how much they drain. I think it's 38 megawatts per railgun. Rail. 1.22 gigawatts. So pretty much, yeah, half the power of the ship. Plus it's currently draining a bit more power because of the jump drive charging up. So twice as many reactors as needed to charge up the rails, which should have the ship functioning even when highly damaged. Okay, so those jump drives added 1600 PSU. Now for the gyroscopes, which would add a lot of PSU too. Now let's copy it. Maybe not. Let's see. the space in between here. Let's just activate the symmetry mode. Let's see, so space here to gyroscopes. Let's move a little bit further. More space here. Should probably convey these blocks to each other. A few conveyors shouldn't cost that much PCU, but it will increase redundancy by a lot. Or whatever. Integrity. Conveyor junctions instead of tubes. It depends on the location, but reinforced conveyor tubes have more health than junctions. So junctions would be only useful in places where we need multiple connections. Other than that, you should probably use tubes. And here I used just basic, not reinforced tubes to have access with the hand welder to the block under it. And yeah, I have all the mods I use in the description of this stream, probably. But this build info mod shows, as you can see, conveyor junctions have half the integrity of reinforced conveyors. Which doesn't really matter that much anyway, because like 4000 versus 2000, and the damage the railguns deal is like 50,000 per shot. So it's a very edge case, where it would help, but still nice to have a bit more health. Harder for, I don't know, an invader to grind it down, I guess. Or whatever. But if you have people inside of your ship grinding it during combat, then you probably have bigger problems than the health of the conveyors. I really wish they improved the collision on the thrusters, because I can clearly fly through here, but it just won't let me. Very annoying. Need to go around. Let's armor this, and we can put gyroscopes here. Should I put a gyroscope on top of the conveyor? Let's not do that for now. Right. I actually don't know what is going on with Space Engineers 2, if it's a real thing that will exist or not. Maybe, maybe not. If they're going to do Space Engineers 2, then I guess they would have a new engine for it. Because other than that, I don't see a reason for a new one to be made. What's here is that blastors have a big resistance to explosions. So if they have a full hydrogen tank explode near them, they will be only like at 90%, while even heavy armor blocks will just get destroyed. So it's better to have blast doors around the tanks. They have a few less connection points, but it doesn't matter because there's not much stuff to connect to anyway here. So let's add blast doors here. Okay, yeah. I don't really watch much of those videos about new space engineers, because there's a lot of clickbait going on around, and honestly, but I hope it works out, because a new space engineers would be nice. Because if there's a reason why this game is kind of stagnant in its development, and not just developers being lazy, then I guess that's nice. It really depends, but you PvP with a ship that's as big as possible in terms of PCU on the server, which on kin servers would be 20,000. But really anything is fine, any size. It's more about the build method. A bigger ship will win because, well, more health, more guns, if it's built using the same method. But even a small ship will still last for a long time in combat if it's built well. Okay, I got lost. Where was I working on? Right, totally forgot. There's a spectator camera. I should probably use that, because I can just clip through the blocks of the ship. Blast doors, and blast doors. Like that. Okay, on to the next empty spot. Blast doors, blast doors. I don't even know how many gyros I will need, but for a ship to turn well of this size, you would need a lot of gyros, a lot more than would be able to be mounted here. So I have 4 on each of these locations. And it would be like 1 on the reactors, 2 around the tanks, and another reactors. So it's 16 here, and then 16 there, 32. That's not that many if I plan to fully armor the ship. $32 might be enough, 64 might be pretty good, but still, kinda have to balance maneuverability with the amount of PCU I have, because gyros are PCU expensive, like 50 PCU per gyro, right? Yep, 50. No, there will be Gatling turrets, probably, like 2 or 4 of them around the ship. So far this is 9,500. When I add 16 more gyros it will be 10,000. Then with armor, some turrets, connectors, interior, control stuff, might get around to 15,000. Which is fine for a ship this size. But so far, this modular system project has been going surprisingly well. We already got so far into the ship construction without any major problems. Oh, it will be great if it works out this time. Because I will make a big claim and say that this is going to be very much revolutionary if it actually works out. The ability to build big ships, and pretty efficient ships at that, very quickly. The system like that would allow to adapt to pretty much most situations quickly, and then also free up a bunch of time to build fancy ships. Though I guess there will be a need to make quite a bit of documentation on this system in order for people to understand how to build with it. But so far it's pretty much a good balance of it being comprehensive and not too complicated. Alright, let's see how this maneuvers. Convert it to the ship. Okay, and cut and paste it, because for some reason it doesn't immediately maneuver well if you convert it. And never mind. It's just... Okay, and the thrusters at the back are not connected. And that's gyroscopes, gyro 32. But it rolls pretty well, which is what's needed for dodging. But aiming with it will be a problem at close ranges. It's not that bad. Okay, let me connect the forward-backward thrust. Just temporarily. can just slap down an assembler here. And that should connect it all there. Let's make a quick prediction on the mass of it and PCU when it will be finished. Okay, so that's 600 blocks on each side. So it's 200 and a half. No ions, no. Because they are expensive and they provide no thrust. Pretty much, comparatively. But, I mean, as a backup thrust source, not really that good either. The cases where you would need them are not that common. Okay, and at the front, how much blocks to armor this hull? 60. Let's say 50. Let's say 60. So let's say we have 8 layers. That's another... so it's 3000 blocks total, and let's add another 1000 blocks to 4000 blocks total, just in worst case scenario. So that adds... let's see. If one of them is 3... That adds like around 12 kilotons of mass to the ship. And 32 upward thrusters, the large ones, if I'm not mistaken, provide around 23 230 meganewtons upward thrust. So let's say this ship, if I proceed with the plans to armor it fully, will be 16 kilotons. That would be quite heavy, and it would be like only 15 meters per second squared upward thrust, or 1.5 Gs. So I'm not sure, I might not have armor anywhere else but the front, because it provides not that much advantage, but it will slow down the ship by a lot. Well, testing it will tell. Because like adding armor everywhere else, that would be like 3000 more PCU, a lot more mass, it will decrease maneuverability by a lot, and it will provide minimal benefit compared to if I just add armor to the front. Because, well, this is what the enemy will be seeing most of the time if you pellet the ship well. So side armor does not make much sense. Just add more armor at the front. And that would be like, if I add 8 layers of it, only 500 more blocks, and that would increase the mass only by like 2 kilotons, compared to 12, if I would proceed with the whole ship armoring. Missiles, guided missiles, or just rocket launchers. Railguns are better than either guided missiles or rocket launchers or any other weapons because of their speed. 2 kilometers per second projectile speed, compared to like its next best weapon, artillery, 500 meters per second. So railguns are very hard to dodge because of their insane projectile speed. No other weapon comes even close to them. What's that over there? What is that? What is this thing over here? What are you? Why is there an assembler just over here? I have no idea. Yep. Yep, I guess frontal armor only is the thing I will settle on. And then we will have like 40 meters per second upward acceleration if we go with 8 layers of heavy armor at the front. Which 8 layers of heavy armor, one railgun shot goes through 3 layers of heavy armor. That's enough to pretty much stop 9 railgun shots. Not 9, 3. In the same spot. Which is, well, good luck hitting the same spot 3 times. And even then, like, if they destroy the whole front and the gun section, then, well, like, I can just jump away. You can just jump away from combat if it's in space, which most combat is. Like, look at the bottom at the acceleration of this thing. It goes like 0 to 100 in a few seconds. Upward. And then you roll to change trajectory. And good luck hitting it at 2 kilometers. Alright, where's all the other stuff? I flew away too much. And how you would fire the railguns is something similar to this. Just put them one by one on the hotbar, and then you would fire them similar to this, while aiming at the enemy, to maximize your chances of hitting the enemy. Because if you fire all at once, it will be hard to hit. Firing a few guns at the time will apply constant pressure. But the gravity drive ships are just straight up terrifying. They are small, they have insane amounts of armor and insane amounts of acceleration. So like, imagine a ship that is smaller than this ship, has 20 layers of armor in front of its 30 railguns, and full armor all around it, and has 8 Gs of upward acceleration. And downward acceleration, because you can just reverse the direction the gravity generators work in. That's what gravity drive ships are. They are... I don't PvP myself much, but I have people I know that do that. I got into knowing what actual PvP looks like only recently, comparatively. But really no one in Space Engineers, even of the people who claim that they know how to do PvP and make PvP ships, actually know how to do it, because You simply don't need to PvP in Space Engineers. There's no pressure to improve your ships. Let me actually try and find one of the... Let me try and find one of the combat meta ships, as they call them. Just to show you how terrifying they are. Yeah, uranium is... you need it. But it's really easy to get. All ores in Space Engineers are easy to get. You just jump around. My preferred method of finding cores is jumping 5 kilometers, then using a turret as a camera, looking around and zooming in asteroids to check for patches. A lot of reactors, large reactors, because batteries, if you look, they have barely any power capacity, power output 12 megawatts and power capacity 3 megawatts hours. So they can output 12 megawatts for 15 minutes, while a large reactor for almost the same PCU cost 300 megawatts forever. Pretty much, as long as we have the fuel. So for batteries to provide the same output as a large reactor for just 15 minutes, you would need 30 of them. That's 500 PCU compared to 25 PCU of a large reactor. And per volume, they are not more efficient either. So this is 27 batteries. This is a large reactor, pretty much the same energy per volume. Actually, what's the mass on this block? 100 tons, and this 70 tons. A reactor is even more mass efficient than batteries. Large reactors all the way. Right, back to finding the meta ship. Let's see. Okay, finding. Okay, here's an example that has comparatively less armor and more speed. From the description of it. Okay, let's see. There. And 48 railguns. What's the PC on this? 20,000. Alright, now let's see. Let's paint it yellow. Can I paint it? Hello? Oh, wait. I have my mouse set to something else. Let me quickly switch this off. There. Alright. Where do I enter this? Let's first of all just go through the insides of it with the spectator camera. So many layers of armor. So many railguns. And the gravity generator array. Gyros, jump drives. Okay, where is the cockpit? Let's see. And this doesn't seem to be that well polished either. Just an experimental version. Okay, where is the cockpit? Oh yeah, that's how they mount the cameras. To make them hard to hit. Okay, there's the cockpit. I think? Yes. Okay, let's teleport ourselves near the entrance. And then enter. Okay, so as you can see what I was talking about in terms of size. Let's see. Let's press 1. As you can see, it's pretty fast. So this thing does not work in gravity because gravity generators do not work in gravity, but in space these are just terrifying. Okay, what is this generator group? Forward one. Okay. And what's this one? I think it goes backwards. Not sure. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, you can just do crazy maneuvers and the speed will just most of the time stay at 100 meters per second. Okay, let's see. We are at 17 meters per second. Enable. Oop. So yes, this brick has an acceleration of over fighter jets when it does insane maneuvers, but constantly. And yeah, you fire the guns one by one. And of course use the camera to aim. So yeah, lots of guns, lots of speed, lots of armor. If you lack in speed, you will just get hit. If you lack in armor, if you get hit, you will get damaged and crippled instantly. And if you lack guns, then you won't do any damage. Most ships on the workshop that are so-called combat ships lack in both armor, guns and speed. They just have artillery turrets spammed on them. Have one layer of heavy armor and have like 1G of acceleration. So they are insanely easy to hit, destroy and dodge their shots. Also, they are very PSU inefficient. Let me find the ships that I battled. Let's see. Let's see. Friends. Where's that person? Calamano. There. Wait, wrong person. Kelemenopi. Huh. Are they online right now or offline? There. Perfect. Depends at what speed. So, if you look at large hydrogen thrusters, 7.2 meganewtons, that means it can push 720 kilograms at 1g speed acceleration, which is 10 meters per second squared. So, if you have the mass, you double the acceleration. Okay, let's see. I think I fought... Which one of these I fought? This. I don't have the DLCs enabled, so it's not going to spawn in fully, but here's a so-called combat ship. It costs 14,000 PCU, and it's this tiny thing. It seems to use a gravity drive, but it has absolutely no armor at the front, and only like 6 railguns. So a single hit to the front just disables a lot of the guns on it. Artillery and assault guns spam, so it's not going to hit most of the shots. But yeah, this is the kind of ships you deal with on the workshop. And in terms of frontal profile, well, it's not too bad, but well, it gets hit once, gets destroyed. And that, remember, 14,000. While this thing is only 10,000 so far, and it will be 14,000 probably when finished. I mean, they can't say like, oh, it's more expensive in terms of resources, but the truth is, in Space Engineers, the amount of resources doesn't matter. Also, they can talk about resources, but it's this ship that uses a shit ton of mass blocks and gravity drives. Yes, it's all vanilla. All vanilla. I don't use mods. And this ship doesn't use them either. It looks nice, but... And I don't really have a problem with people making ships that are nice looking and not good at combat. The problem is when they start pretending that their aesthetic ship is a combat ship. Here's, by the way, a ship that I made before I knew how to do combat properly. It uses DLC, so it's not going to spawn in properly, because I don't have DLC enabled right now. Basically, what gravity drive is, you have mass block, artificial mass blocks, and gravity generators. And what proportions they are used in is, I think, just the same amount of PCU of artificial mass per gravity generators, which ends up being 7.4 if I'm not mistaken. Artificial masses per grav gen. And basically... which ones? The workshop ships. Yeah. I think they are mostly exposed. Even if they are not, they are easy to hit. Even if it had like one layer of armor. Yeah, and when I battled it, they ended up exploding. But, well, it doesn't really matter because it's a gravity drive ship. But still, its contents got destroyed. Anyway, what's so nice about gravity drives is that unlike normal thrusters, when you double the amount of components, thrust increases not 2 times, but 4 times. Because you have this one gravity generators pulling a single mass block, for example. That's 1 point of thrust. Now we have 2 gravity generators pulling 2 mass blocks. That's 4 points of thrust. So by just doubling the components, we increased the amount of thrust 4 times. And you can see this stacks up to insane amounts of thrust very quickly. So that's why they are so good compared to normal thrusters. But they don't work in gravity and they need balancing, unlike normal thrusters. So if you have it unbalanced, it will just flip around. Anyway, my old ship, it used ion thrusters, so it was really slow. It had pretty much no armor on the guns, and it was really easy to hit. As you can see, I went with the turret spam. So this thing will just get hit immediately and get destroyed immediately. Fighting this. Which one? It's not really a thruster, it's just a propulsion system, you could call it. And an intended consequence of how gravity generators and artificial mass blocks work in this game. Because gravity generators can pull artificial mass blocks even if they are on the same grid. Here's the demonstration of it. So yeah, that's how gravity drives work. And as you saw, if it's not balanced, it's just going to spin around. But they don't work in atmosphere, not in atmosphere, in planet gravity, because gravity generators stop work in the planet gravity. Right, where was I? On this ship, the tanks are, you could say, exposed to the hydrogen tanks where they are, and all the other components. But if I armor the front railguns with a lot of armor, which I will, if this ship is just facing you front on, you will not be able to hit the hydrogen tanks or any other components. Right, we should get to building it. Let me just do one last fly around on this. There. Okay, let's get back to building. Is this the version? Yes, it is. What we will need also is O2H2 generators. Okay, where are the attachment points on this? So it doesn't have any points on the upper half of it for some reason. Strange. Okay, so the reactors are not going to explode, most likely. Oops. Accidentally removed one of them. I should have copied the sink. Let's just remove this whole sink and put it back. Reactor, there. Always copy the grid before making any changes. There. Okay, so we are going to aim for 8 O2H2 generators. So that's another trick. You can use O2H2 generators as conveyor blocks. Because you need to have them anyway if you want to generate some hydrogen and oxygen. And they have connection ports. Ah, damn it, moved another reactor. Ports. Usually you don't need to have a lot of O2H2 generators on the ship. The ratio I go for is one large hydrogen tank per one large, not large, per one O2H2 generator. So it ends up filling the tanks in 8 hours, if I'm not mistaken. Probably. Let's see, actually. Produces hydrogen 500 liters per second, and the tank is 15 megaliters. Let's do some s. Define that by 500 divided by... Yep, 8 hours. It's pretty slow, but if you're playing with the servers, it can just do it overnight. And then, anyway, you should probably have like a hydrogen tanker ship that that refines ice into fuel while you're doing other stuff. Okay, there we are. Eight tanks, which would which would end up powering at full thrust. One tank powers one large thruster for an hour, so we have 32 outward thrusters and 8 tanks, which is 15 minutes at full thrust. And you shouldn't constantly use your full thrust. Most of the times you don't even need to thrust in combat, only adjust your trajectory during dodging maneuvers. So it's enough to last for quite a while. Anymore, and it's more PSU expensive, the ship is more explosive, and yada yada. So that's the current ratio I'm using. 1 hydrogen tank per 4 upward thrusters. L plus ratio. Okay, we can remove the previous iterations of it. Let's add some armor to the front. Let's go with 8 layers for now. And let's cover around the guns with armor, but other than that, all other stuff is going to be unarmored. Most likely. Wow. That is a ship. What's the mass of it? 8 kilotons. Okay. That's fine. So we'll get like 3 Gs upward acceleration, which is fine. That's still plenty. How long is it? Okay, so over 200 meters. Wow. By the way, where was the center of mass? Very much in the front. It looked not very balanced. But well, luckily we don't need to worry about that in this game. I wonder what its maneuverability now is like. I bet it's really slow. It is slow. Rolls still fine, but yeah, we will need more gyroscopes. Because it's a pain to aim this. Who would have thought that's the problem with armor is that it's very heavy. When the heavy armor is heavy. How much does this sink weigh? 2 kilotons. So if I removed half of it, it would only remove a single kiloton from it. Yeah. Let's just try adding 32 more gyroscopes to see how much it would improve maneuverability. There we go, 16 on each side. Convert to ship. Paste. Still very slow. Rolls quickly, but turns quite slow. Okay, let's try cutting off 4 layers of the front. Like that. It's still so slow. What was the maneuverability on my previous ship? Let's see. Okay, so it was quite similar to this. Let's cut another 2 layers off. Now it's only 2 layers of armor left. Still slow. And let's see if we fully remove all the armor. Now it's balanced in terms of mass. It's still not very fast in terms of turning. But it's much better. I don't know. I guess it's good that I can just easily add or remove armor to test it as it needed. Okay, I want to check the audio levels again. Let me just talk for a bit and then mute the desktop audio. 1 second, let me... And now, pause soundtrack. Mute. Okay. It's fine now. Music back on. Let's proceed. Just wanted to check in case. Okay. So we could go with no armor approach if you want to. Because railguns have how much health? 50,000. And there are 32 of them at the front. But then the ship would get crippled real quickly when getting shot at. Two layers of armor would be enough to prevent it to add one more hit. Then 5 would be at 2 hits, 8, 3 hits. I think what I might end up going with is enough armor to survive a single hit on each point, which would be 2 layers. That sounds reasonable. Because it would... It would... Just for a bit of armor, increase the survivability by a lot. And no real armor on the sides of the guns. And let's see, still looking balanced. Let's try maneuvering. Maneuvering is still just fine. Yeah, 2 layers might be what I go for. Because that's... The single railgun shot is 50,000, one heavy armor block is 16.5, so it's 33,000. Actually no, it's less than that. Like slopes. So it's 25 mitigated by armor, if it goes through slopes. And then the guns, Another 25,000. Yeah, it can totally survive another 25,000 directly on the gun. So if it goes, I guess guns are 2 blocks wide. So maybe 3 layers of armor on the front will be enough. Much better, let's see. That would be 100 more blocks. Only 300. Or maybe 4. You know what? Let's go with 4. Just to make sure. It's still balanced. And should be enough. Because like a lot of mass was side armor here. Like yeah. If I had full side armor it would be another 280 blocks, which is entire kiloton. More. So 4 layers might be the way to go. Which would mitigate a single hit. A single hit before anything gets damaged. I could probably get rid of these armor blocks back here then, if I don't go with full armor anyway. Let us do just that. Remove you. And instead of these blocks, interior walls will go here. Perfect. You know, if people use artillery against this, I don't need any armor, because they just wouldn't hit like 4 seconds until it reaches me at 2 kilometers range, like good luck hitting me. So I'm arming up against a ship of equal caliber, but most ships that I would meet, it's either ships that are super weak and just get crippled immediately, or ships that are gravity drive meta bricks, which would be a rare occasion, which would destroy me. So for me it's like quickly destroy a ship that's stronger than my ship, but be able to survive a few hits from a... Wait, no. Quickly destroy a ship that's weaker than my ship, but be able to survive a few hits from a ship that's better than my ship, and then jump away. That's pretty much what I'm gearing for. Yep. Artillery is good to destroy weaker enemies. But, well, what artillery can destroy, railguns can destroy much better. So I don't really see much reason to use artillery. Railguns are just better in every way. Yep, I have enough acceleration to go backwards. The ship has more backwards acceleration than most ships that people use have upwards, so... Probably the funniest thing that people claim is good is custom turrets. Like, okay, a single hit to a custom turret just cripples it immediately. And good luck then assembling it again. Like, they are cool, but in terms of practicality, they are useless. Okay, a new adapter. There we go. Same. I don't use, like... I think the most modded I played in terms of blocks, I don't use blocks. Maybe the most modded in terms of mechanics is aerodynamics mod. But that doesn't add any new blocks. Just makes ships behave a little bit differently. Right, we can remove this. This whole thing. And let's move this closer to the area where we are working. How much PCU? 11,000. Okay, right now it has 32 gyros. There's no other gyros. Let's see how it works with 32. And 4 layers of armor. Right, I have disconnected thrusters. It's back. Just quickly connect them again. Temporarily. Okay, it's fine. If I add 32 more gyros, it will be 1.5 thousand more PCU, which is not that much. I will consider doing that later. And in terms of acceleration, if it's 4.7, pretty much 5Gs. Or 50 meters per second squared upwards acceleration. And because I have 1/4 thrusters in all other directions, then it's 12 meters per second squared, forward, backward, side to side, downwards. Which is enough. But yeah, wow. We made the ship to a phase where it's ready to be combat tested. Now we just start, now we just need secondary stuff like connectors, interior, and then fancy stuff on top. Yeah, 32 more gyros. Currently it's 11,000. That is not a lot of thrusters. That you have 7 large. Now the ship is at 12.5 thousand. And it doesn't seem to be that much of a maneuverability increase. Yeah. Okay, so 32 is enough. Yeah, when you accelerate, once you accelerate, you get moving, changing your direction quickly, so that's fine. You can aim with this. Let me contact one of the people in my Discord. Let's see. Contacted one of the combat experts in my Discord. Link is in the description. We might be able to, maybe even, let's see if it's possible right now on stream to get a combat test going. Since it's Saturday, yep. So they might be actually free right now. Let's see if they respond. Huh, it says link expired. Let's see, let me see. Maybe the link in the description is expired after all. I need to check. Discord. Bruh, what the hell? It's expired. Really? See? Okay, let me update it. Let's see, let me check if this link works. Okay, this link works. Let me... Here's it in the chat, and I'm going to update description right now. Edit. There. Okay, and let me now update whole channel content defaults. Maybe even update the link as description on all my videos. Let's see, basic info, no, upload defaults, there. Discord, like that. Web. There. Copy this whole thing. Save. Okay, now check. Alright. Visibility, public, apply. Select all videos. Yes. There. Edit. Description. Replace all. Update. I understand the implication of this action. Yes. There. Now the descriptions should update shortly for all my videos that are right now. So hopefully more people will come in. I wonder if my Steam description link is... No, it's updated. Okay. Okay, my workshop blueprints should have the proper link too. That's good. Phew. Don't feel like continuing today. Already streamed for 2 hours and a bit tired now. Let's wait for a bit more if they answer or not. And we'll see if we can do the combat test right now or maybe later. I will probably stream it. Because why not? The combat test. Anyway, let's see. Let's just go over the plans. So up here I would put a landing pad, in here some interior, with one combat cockpit and a respawn chamber. Back here I would put some interior, refinery, assembler, car container, connectors to the side here, down here, backwards connector, with the cockpit facing backwards for non-combat purposes like mining. And yeah, another combat cockpit and respawn chamber for redundancy. Better to have at least two, in case one gets destroyed. What other stuff? Then we will need to come up with some decorations to put on the ship to make it look nicer and not as flat. But yeah, I don't see any obstacles that would stop us from finishing this project sometime soon. Yeah, that's probably it. No response, so I'm just going to end stream. Oh, actually, they just went online from sleeping. Let's see if they will respond. Let's wait for a bit more. Second ping. Let me navigate to there. Yeah, no problem. I will make a mega ship with this system when it's in more finished stages. Could easily just quadruple the amount of stuff on it. So like have the guns be 128, so quadruple the amount of upward thrusters to have it be like 2 times wider and 2 times longer to 400 meters. Then because it's going to be longer and taller, there's going to be a lot of empty space inside, and I could add a big hangar. So like end up with something like 50 or 80,000 PCU project just for fun, just to show what's possible. But we will have to do a bit of stuff before we can actually build that. Eventually. A processing ship shouldn't be hard to build with this system. Similar setup, remove the guns, for backwards thrusters put them in the middle, cargo in the middle, and other stuff. You should put heavier blocks in the middle of the ship, so like the center, the mass is more in the center, so it doesn't... Oh, whatever. What's it called? Basically, you want to have all your mass as close as possible to the center, so it turns faster. Equalize all thrusters on... the reason for that is because if you... if you have thrusters on each side, you need a lot more thrusters. It's much easier to have a lot of thrusters on one side and then turn the ship around to thrust in other directions. Like roll it. So it's more efficient. You need less thrusters if you can just turn your ship around. Let's see, maybe it's called moment of inertia. Moment of inertia. Yeah, moment of inertia. That's what it's called. That's why you should have a bunch of stuff as close to the center as possible. On cargo ships especially. Have all the cargo containers in the middle. And rolling the ship is especially easy because ship is long and ship needs to be long to minimize its frontal profile to make it harder to hit. So that helps with rolling. A lot. Right, well, they don't seem to be responding. So... yeah. If you don't have any other questions, I will end for now. And maybe there will be another stream in the evening. Alright, see you later. 3, 2, 1, stream over.